My name is Cheryl. We are standing in front of my tiny house called Serenity, which is located in Island Cove, Durango, Colorado. I named my tiny house Serenity because when I initially started out this plan, that's what I wanted my house to feel like, serenity. That was even before I got the cancer diagnosis. And then after battling all that, I thought, what a perfect name for my home. You know, I can live in serenity whether I'm sick or not. It just feels right. I'm here, I'm upright, I'm breathing, I'm happy. I'll admit I don't go to church every Sunday. Sorry, Mom. I do pray every day, and sure, I prayed to God and I said, you know, if I make it through this, I'm gonna, of course, live as full a life as I can, and I'm just gonna continue to help people. And I feel like I've been able to do that. I've been living in my tiny house since December, so almost half a year. My house was built by a company out of Colorado Springs called Tiny Building Experts. It's a 10-foot wide by 34-foot long tiny home. My tiny house is parked in Island Cove, located in Durango, Colorado. I rent my lot space for $800 a month, which does include lawn care service. One very nice draw about Island Cove is about a 1-minute walk from my tiny house is a 2-acre island that we access via a bridge. And my dog and I love to walk a couple laps around the island. Neighbors here are really friendly. My location is just prime. I can walk downtown and be there within 15 to 20 minutes. So that's the outside of my house. It's time to go look inside my tiny home. Hi, welcome to my tiny house, Serenity. It's 340 square feet, and I live here with my dog, Xena. My tiny house is very special to me because I designed it myself. I wanted some very specific features in it because I wanted to age in my tiny house. I did not want to be climbing a ladder or steps on the daily, so my tiny house is designed with the bedroom on the main floor, the ground floor. Well, starting here in the entryway, we have one of 2 doors. I wanted 2 entry doors in my home, and I wanted it to be primarily full glass. Right away, we're using the space right here at my entryway. Got my water dispenser set up. Xena's space is down here. She's got her water and her feeding. This I bought from a consignment shop. It serves so many purposes. Who has a entryway closet in their tiny house? I sure don't. So this is what I use for all my various coats, and of course it changes out seasonally. So now we're moving into the bathroom, which is right off the entryway. The bathroom, I had special features that I wanted to have included in the house. I have always wanted a floating sink vanity. I don't have a lot of products that need to be stored, so I have no need for a medicine cabinet. Definitely need the mirror. A floating cabinet is what I wanted. That way I can just slide my stool underneath. It's very easy for me to reach some of these high areas. So no space is lost. When I designed my bathroom, I knew I wanted a shower, and I'm not really a bathtub person. However, I do have a portable bathtub that does fit right here if I so choose to, but I'm mostly a shower person. I also did not want a shower that was the size of a fridge, so I definitely wanted to have a 5-foot long shower in place. I wanted specifically this fixture because I can use the handheld to give my dog Xena her baths. So that was important to me. And then also having a long 5-foot shower, I can put a sit down portion in there for those times when I need to take a seat. On this side of the bathroom is my washer and dryer setup. Right now I don't have the dryer, but I do have the hookup for the dryer, and behind this canvas print is the venting for the dryer. What I've discovered is that the washer is really all I need right now. We live in Colorado where humidity is quite low, so you'll notice hooks, 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 hangers, hooks everywhere because I just currently air dry my clothes, and they dry overnight, even in the winter. And then to the right, I have my closet. I'm not a huge clothes person. I'm one of those that sort of organizes by color, and I literally have tried to use every bit of space. So hidden back here are some boots. And then down below, you wouldn't know this if I didn't show it to you, I have my shoes and boots down here as well. And then behind this curtain, it's technically called a utility closet. So there's my water heater. It's a 30-gallon water heater. And then this is where my dresses and some of my coats hang.
Have you ever murdered a houseplant? Yeah, me too. Fortunately, I've discovered the easiest hack, aptly named Easy Plant. They've developed an innovative self-watering system. Only water your plants once a month when the reservoir is empty. It seriously doesn't get any easier than that. As a super forgetful person, I truly appreciate the simplicity it offers. Now I refill my plants quickly and then set a calendar reminder for next month. The fun part was choosing from a wide variety of plants in gorgeous pots. I easily found the perfect plants for our cabin with helpful tags like low light. And Easy Plant made the entire ordering process worry-free with their 90-day guarantee. And it comes with lifetime access to free online plant expert support in case of any issues. I'm in love with how our new house plants transformed our cabin into a more peaceful sanctuary. Are you ready to connect with nature in your home the easy way? See the link in the description. Save 10% off your dream plants from Easy Plant.
Above the shower, we have what I call my open attic. A lot of tiny homes that you may have seen get their extra square footage from having lofts. Again, I didn't want to be climbing any ladders or steps on the daily. The designer did mention or suggest to me having a loft, so I agreed to have it built above the shower and the utility closet and not take up the whole bathroom. On the loft is just seasonal stuff that I only need to access maybe once every few months. When you're single, it's hard to be able to afford living in a mountain town as popular as Durango. When I think about some of my coworkers at Mercy Hospital, some drive from New Mexico because it's way more affordable than Colorado. I love Durango and I want to live here, and so living tiny allows me to do that. I am first generation Filipino American. Both my parents came from the Philippines and my oldest sister, and then 3 of us were born in Chicago. I ended up living in Austin, Texas for 30 years. At one point after I left, all 3 kids, ironically, were renting the Austin house from me. And now we're at the point where my son's going to take over the house and hopefully buy it from me. Career-wise, I was an elementary school teacher for 15 years. Loved it. Have 0 regrets about that. In my late 30s, I switched to nursing. Some people questioned my career change because they said, man, you're going from one service job to another. And I'm like, I don't mind being in the service industry. I want to help people. That's my calling. I just need to make more at it. So moving out of the bathroom, we head directly into the kitchen. And right away, we have my fridge. I also took into account the dimensions very carefully. I wanted it to be big enough, but short enough because I specifically wanted to have the microwave on top. So the builder made sure to provide an electrical outlet for me behind, just for my microwave. You will notice that I do not have a cooktop. The reason for that is because I do almost the majority of all my cooking in my toaster oven. People are shocked when I tell them this, but I even make my eggs on this griddle in my toaster oven. And I have it dialed down perfectly. And when I want to do my meats, just flip it over and there you go. So the toaster oven serves almost all my cooking needs. This and the microwave. In this cabinet is my electric induction cooktop. I just hook it up and I can make my boiling water for my pasta for when I'm craving that. This is really convenient. If I'm doing all my cooking here and I have crumbs here, guess what? I just do this and then crumbs can swoosh into there. I specifically wanted this pull-out drawer just for my garbage and my recycling because, number one, I didn't want a separate trash can sticking out and taking up some valuable real estate space. And I also needed it to be able to be closed off just so the dog doesn't decide to mess with my trash. You know what I mean? And then right next to that is my dishwasher. It's compact size. This one is 18 inches, perfect for just me. I only have to run it twice a month, if that. And then right next to that is my farmhouse / apron sink, single bowl, and I love it. I just love it. And of course, you gotta have the sink centered with a window right above it. My builder also helped me with my kitchen cabinets. I knew I wanted glass front because I read that if you have glass or mirrors and that sort of thing, it makes your tiny house look bigger or your tiny space look bigger. And plus it forces me to make sure things look pretty on the inside. 10 feet wide allows me to have a kitchen island. You do not see very many tiny homes with kitchen islands. So here she is. This is not something the builder made for me. I had found it on Home Depot and knew that the dimensions would fit and that I could put it together myself. The purpose of the island is threefold. It provides me with extra counter space. It provides me with extra storage. This whole side of the kitchen island has 2 cabinets and 3 drawers. Lots of storage. Then you have this portion that folds up and stays propped up underneath so that you can have extra dining or entertaining or workspace. Okay, so that's great. And there you go. And I knew I was going to have it laid out in this fashion so that I could watch TV while I eat. It's also on wheels. I can move it around to create more space or less space as needed. So it fits my needs. I love it. This item right here did not come with my tiny house originally. I love IKEA and I think I scored with this piece. This I use as my dry pantry. So that's how I figured out how to squeeze a pantry in here. So my tiny house definitely has that open concept feel because directly connected to my kitchen is my living room. Again, I tried to plan out my living room as carefully as possible. In my design plans, I'd already owned this couch. So I measured things out and said, okay, my living room needs to be at least this long. These 2 pieces, I joined them together, purchased from Wayfair, and it's new. I bought it after I moved into the tiny house. What I'm trying to accomplish is storage that also utilizes the space above these wheels. Measuring things out, I found this and was like, that's perfect. I bought 2 of them, and what it is storage for my shoes. And mirrors, windows, they make a tiny space look much larger, so there you go. This I did add because I wanted to have additional storage for my blankets, and I also wanted to be able to put my feet up. I knew I wasn't necessarily going to have a standard coffee table in my house, so this serves as my coffee table and footrest. This is also something new that I purchased literally this month. It's a digital frame, keeping in mind my limited wall space. I can have all my pictures just rotating through and not have to be on display individually. The shelves, I came up with this concept because, again, I didn't want to lose all this space behind me. So it serves as a display place. And also, since I don't have a coffee table, this is where you set your drinks. And then behind my couch, some people may find this funny, but I think it's pretty practical. And it's my extra storage place for my dry goods, because there is precious 6 inches of storage space all behind my couch. Now we're going to go into the last space of the house, which is my bedroom. My bedroom fits a queen size bed, and my bed is quite high, and that's on purpose. Number 1, it's a good way to keep Xena off my bed. And number 2, underneath my bed is a ton of storage. There is a lot squeezed into this bedroom. One cool thing I want to show you all is this. So pretend it's nighttime and, I've gone to sleep, and then I'm waking up and my joints aren't quite fully awake. So under here I have hiding my curtain rod, which I have turned into my open the curtain rod. So instead of reaching all the way up, and this thing is difficult to get across, I just use this simple little tool, and ta-da! My window curtains are open, and I don't have to reach up every day or step up on a stool. I do the same process with these curtains, and at nighttime, that's how I help get the curtains closed. I've had this keyboard for well over 20 years, but I can read music. So every once in a while, what I love to do, if I've had an especially stressful day at work, I come home, I play a piece, and my troubles seem to disappear. So underneath my keyboard, I have my electric fireplace. So I have it set on 62 for when I use it, because the heat source is right here, sleep right here, and it keeps me so comfortable during the winter. So behind me, but next to the keyboard, I've got a special section of my bedroom. There is no closet, so I had to come up with some unique solutions for that. So the first thing I did was I installed these pipes so I could hang some of my pants and my skirts. So there's 2 pipes there. And then when I was exploring in downtown Durango, I walked into an antique shop, and there was this piece. The piece did not have the knobs that you see on the bottom. It was just meant to be a vertical mirror. So I thought, I can add more antique knobs and have hanging space for all my bags that I have. So that was one of my latest projects that I had fun doing, and I hope to do more of those. At that same antique shop in Durango, I found this. They called it a Victorian towel rack. What I ended up doing with it is attaching it to my door, and I use it to hang my jeans. And I think it serves a perfect purpose, and it's great use of space. So I share my bedroom with my dog Xena. So she's got a little space right below my bed, and this is where she goes to play and eat her special treats when she's not hanging out on the couch. This window was purposeful. I wanted a window at this height so that in the summer, if I need to put in my window AC unit, it's supposed to fit right here. Here is the second entry exit door that I purposely planned for my house. Again, I wanted it to be full glass for the light. Just like the front door, I can easily close it off for privacy. So when I think about my bedroom, I feel like it's like the rest of the house, very comfortable. And from this perspective, I can look straight out my door and see the mountains up on the wall. I can see clear through my tiny house. I just love how the layout worked out. In 2023, I was renting this tiny studio apartment about 5 minutes from where I'm living right now. So I knew I could live tiny. When I calculated how much rent was going out the door, it's like $18,000 a year. I need to put that towards my own place. Transitioning from my 400 square foot studio to my 340 square foot tiny house was really not that big of a deal for me. In fact, it helped me design my home because I already had my bed, I already had my couch, I already had my electric fireplace. So I measured everything, and that's how I was able to come up with the plans for my tiny house. So anytime you're doing construction or remodeling, you always have to deal with issues that arise. Things go over budget, the timeline gets missed. So those were some difficulties that I had to deal with. More than half my brain was on dealing with the cancer diagnosis. But at the same time, it was a huge positive piece of last year. So my house cost $150,000, not including the extra expenses from the delays. It can be difficult to finance a tiny house because you can't get a typical loan from the bank. You can't get a typical mortgage. So part of my financing plan was I used the equity from my Austin home, and I used what's called a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, to pay for my tiny house. And the other thing that's very important to me, as much as I love Durango, if I ever leave, I want to be able to take my house with me. And the fact that it's a tiny house on wheels and on a trailer, I can hire a professional driver to take my place and my shed to my new home. But for now, Durango is home. Island Cove is home for me.
Thank you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Instagram for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.